Finally there, right? I know. I apologize that one wasn't yours. Alrighty, it looks like we are all ready to go right here. This is break 1478, the 2021 Topps Bowman Chrome Hobby Lite. One box, pick your team, 1478. Yeah, that might have been a little too easy. First pack in this Bowman Lite. Yadier Molina of the Cardinals and Alex Kirilloff, RC of the Minnesota Twins, headed to Mr. CEO. Followed up by a 40-man futures Austin Martin of the Toronto Blue Jays going to Zerk. Then we have a Francisco Alvarez of the New York Mets and Drew Waters of the Atlanta Braves. We have a Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins. Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins. And that is going to be going to Gavin right there. Followed up by an out of 99, Matthew Liberatore of the St. Louis Cardinals going to Mr. CEO. Nice prospect right there. Followed up by a black and white Heston Kyrgyzstan of the Baltimore Orioles to Mr. CEO as well. Heading to Mr. CEO as well. And then we have our first Bowman First Edition, and that is going to be Manuel Beltre of the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is going to Zerk. Followed up by a Poyu Chen of the Pittsburgh Pirates, headed to Thomas. And we're 2 packs in on this one, and I would like to welcome Yuval, Chris, and Anthony and Colin to BreakTraders for the first time. You can use promo code NEWBT for 20% off your first purchase at BreakTraders.com. We have a Tyler Stevenson RC right off the bat, and that is of the Cincinnati Reds, headed to Chris. Followed up by a Nate Pearson RC of the Toronto Blue Jays, and that's going to Zerk. Then we have the 40-man futures, Matthew Allen of the New York Mets going to Mr. CEO. Followed up with Eduardo Garcia of the Milwaukee Brewers. Eduardo Garcia of the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a Bowman first, and that's headed to Gavin. And then we have Kevin Made of the Chicago Cubs going to Greg. Chicago Cubs, and that is Kevin Made. And I wonder, have any of you seen the have you all seen all the drama between Barstool Sports' White Sox Dave and John Cusack, because he confronted him because John Cusack's an admitted fan of both the Cubs and the White Sox, and he went up and down, up one side and down the other, telling him that he couldn't be a fan of both. We have Sam Huff of the Texas Rangers RC going to Gavin, followed up by a 2020 Summer Camp Wander Franco of the Tampa Bay Rays, and that's going to be going to Colin. Then we have that black and white Spencer Torkelson of the Detroit Tigers, headed to Jake. Followed up with Josiah Gray of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Ed Howard of the Chicago Cubs. Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks, followed by Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners. Then we have a Dawn of Glory Asa Lacy of the Kansas City Royals. And that is going to be heading to Cynthia. That's one of your box hits right there. Followed up by Marco Luciano of the San Francisco Giants and Jared Kelly of the Chicago White Sox. And we have 5 packs left, including this one. Jesus Luzardo of the Oakland Athletics, followed by an out of 199, Brennan Davis of the Chicago Cubs, headed to Greg. Then we have a black and white Robert Poison of the Oakland Athletics going to Gavin. Following up with that, we have Oswald Praz of the New York Yankees and Alec Thomas of the Arizona Diamondbacks. We have Jorge Soler of the Kansas City Royals, followed by Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians, a 40-man futures Nick Yorke of the Boston Red Sox heading to Cynthia. Following that up with a Bowman first, Carlos Colmenares of the Tampa Bay Rays going to Colin, and then a Bowman first, Milkar Perez of the Seattle Mariners, and that is going to Anthony. J.D. Martinez of the Boston Red Sox, Bryce Harper of the Philadelphia Phillies, a black and white Justin Foscue of the Texas Rangers going to Gavin, followed up by a Yiddy Copy Bowman first edition of the Miami Marlins headed to Gavin as well. And then Christian Hernandez of the Chicago Cubs, and that is going to Greg, and that is a Bowman first edition and as well. And we have 2 packs left right here. George Springer of the Toronto Blue Jays, followed by a 2020 summer camp, Reed Detmers of the Los Angeles Angels. Reed Detmers of the Angels right there, followed by a 40-man futures, Tyler Soderstrom of the Oakland Athletics going to Gavin. And then we have Reed Detmers of the Angels and Heidbert Perez of the Milwaukee Brewers. On to our last pack. We have a Clark Schmidt RC of the New York Yankees heading to Chris right there. Then we have Joey Bart of the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco Giants RC, and that is going to Eric. Followed by a Drew Romo black and white of the Colorado Rockies to Mr. CEO. Nick Gonzalez of the Pittsburgh Pirates and Wander Franco of the Tampa Bay Rays. Alrighty. We will start this rundown with our rookies. We have Joey Bart of the Giants heading to Eric. Clark Schmidt of the Yankees headed to Chris. Sam Huff of the Rangers going to Gavin. Nate Pearson of the Blue Jays heading to Mike Zirk. Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds going to Chris. Jesus Sanchez of the Miami Marlins going to Gavin. And Alex Kirilloff of the Minnesota Twins going to Mr. CEO. And now our Bowman first. We have Christian Hernandez of the Chicago Cubs going to Greg. Yiddy Copy of the Miami Marlins headed to Gavin. Milkar Perez of the Seattle Mariners heading to Anthony. Carlos Colmenares of the Tampa Bay Rays going to Colin. Kevin Made of the Chicago Cubs heading to Greg, followed by Eduardo Garcia of the Milwaukee Brewers going to Gavin. Po-Yu Chen of the Pittsburgh Pirates heading to Thomas, and Manuel Beltre of the Toronto Blue Jays going to Zirk. Nice. And now on to our featured cards, of which there are 2. We have the Matthew Liberatore 58 out of 99 of the St. Louis Cardinals to Mr. CEO, and the Asa Lacy of the Kansas City Royals with that box set. And with that, we are done with break 14-7.